Hey everyone, I'm Sage Valentine and welcome to my channel of the same name. Right now I'm going to review the following Season 3, Episode 3, entitled Boxed In. Kyle needs to keep his mouth shut because Kyle continuously keeps on talking. And now Mark knows that in some way, shape, or form, Kyle and Daisy are working against him, possibly working with somebody else. And the reason why he is so well informed about this is that second side of him, Luke, it's like, as I said in my previous reviews, Luke has like entered him via osmosis, something here, because he took over the split personality between himself and Luke. So when Kyle kind of laughed off this whole thing of being a follower to that reporter lady who sadly didn't live very long, what made me laugh is the fact that when she revealed it, he kind of tried to play it off, but Mark is not stupid. Mark has never been stupid. He and his brother were many things, but stupid and gullible was definitely not one of them. I feel like, as I said last week, that Daisy is going to die quicker than Kyle, because Daisy is the sensible one. Daisy's trying to warn Kyle, like, stop pushing this dude. He is going to try to kill you, possibly kill both of us. Sit down and chill, but Kyle can't even do that. We get to the FBI, and Mendez isn't stupid, another one. Mendez is just like, Ryan, is there something you need to tell me here? And Ryan, again, is still lying, which on the one hand, I don't blame him for lying, but on the other hand, it's like eventually the jig is going to be up. Eventually, you're going to have to tell somebody. And, I mean, he can kind of trust Mendez a little bit, so I would kind of at least try to clue her in some way, shape, or form. And so when he does that press conference, this reporter guy decides, because Mendez is going to take on everything, so he decides, like, I'm going to go ask the tough questions of Ryan Hardy. So he asks Ryan, is there any truth to what Clarke said? And Ryan tells him no. Which I'm looking at him like, okay, but then when he went further and really started to antagonize Mark, that only seemed to make things worse for that reporter and that other reporter. The man seemed like he started going catatonic or something, and Mark killed him, and the woman tried to escape, and I assumed that Mark was going to kill her anyway, but then when Daisy and Kyle kind of jumped in, and Daisy killed her, Mark was upset, but he camouflaged being upset to, you know, this whole other thing, whereas when he saw that file, he's just like, what are you guys doing? Are you working against me? And they're trying to talk like, no, we're with you, Mark, we're with you. Then to make a long story short, what ended up happening was that Mark saw the file, saw Max Hardy, and I guess he decided to join in on the fun. But did you guys see that face that he made as he hugged Daisy? Because I know I'm not the only person who saw that. So as I said before, Mark and his brother are many things, or were many things in regards to Luke, but stupid and gullible is not one of them. Alrighty, so we get to Neil, and it's crazy that all of these killers, be it on The Following, be it on Stalker, they always end up having these jobs, or Criminal Minds, whereas they're completely interacting with people. But the crazy thing was that Neil worked in like this, I wouldn't call it craft making shop, like furniture building type shop, whereas he was building all these things and he was giving this thing to this child. And it looked like a toy box or a dollhouse or something strange like that. And the crazy thing was, like, in the back, as he went in the back to get this second thing for the kid, you see the nurse. Now, I felt so bad for that nurse because, I mean, it was a catch-22 with her. Even if she had done everything right, eventually she was going to die. And I'm just glad that Ryan and the rest of them were able to come and able to save her, because she was definitely on her way out. Then you have the whole thing with Neil revealing about his father, and I guess how his father beat the crap out of him, basically to get him to submit. But by beating him, he brought out this monster, which it seems to be the explanation for every killer on all these shows. And makes you kind of sit back and think twice about, you know, disciplining your kids. So, And I felt sorry for that second nurse that came along, because at least the first nurse, he kind of like, called the agency and told them, you know what, she didn't show up. Can you send out a second nurse? That second one got bopped upside the head and was just dead. There was no saving him, unfortunately. Let me get back to Ryan Hardy. I was with the wife because it was Ryan's fault that Agent Clarke died. There was no way around that. And you could tell that Ryan feels guilty just based on that dream that he had in the beginning of the episode, where he heard Gwen calling him and then went into a room with all this blood on the floor and that box, like Gwen is in the box. So that box could be interpreted as a whole bunch of different things, but what I saw it as was either an omen for her death, remorse for Clarke's death, or in some way, shape, or form, he's going to be responsible for whatever happens to Gwen. So at the end of the episode, almost to the end, when he's talking to Gwen and he's telling her, like, you know what, you should leave. I should be telling you to leave, but I can't tell you to leave. I want you to live here with me. And he's basically trying to warn her. And she's just looking at this like he's just scared, like, you know what, everything's going to be all right. Is what I should be thinking, but I'm not. I'm looking at it like it's her job to stay there with him, basically. And like she is some undercover follower or something for somebody, possibly the new bad guy, I don't know. But to me, that's how it basically went. Okay. The whole thing with Neil, I was laughing because I'm like, of all the things for Neil to think about as he escaped Ryan, once Ryan and Max and Mike made it to the furniture making wood shop where he worked, I guess his father worked there, passing on to him. Once they made it there and they were able to save that nurse, I was just like, how the hell did he disappear that quickly? Like, he knew all the escape routes. Then there was a part of me wondering why he even needed a nurse for his father. And then I thought about it. Neil must be on call at all times, and that's the reason why he needs that nurse. So just in case he gets a random phone call, he can just jet out and somebody will be there to watch his father. But once he got home, as I said, he thought of everything, got the clothes, got everything together, but did not think about that tracking device on dementia patients. And the reason why, on a side note, I know about that is because when my grandmother was sick years ago, I remember the people at the nursing home and the subacute care facilities talking about those bracelets that they put on the people who have dementia and Alzheimer's and other disorders dealing with the brain and the head. And they make sure that, like, if the person gets too far, they beep. So I wasn't surprised when they talked about that bracelet. But it was pretty funny how the father, even if he didn't have that bracelet on him, the father made such a scene and just kept talking loud that people would have remembered seeing them and would have remembered they were there. And especially in the back, once the cops kind of, Ryan and Mike and Max kind of caught up. Or was it just Ryan? No, it was Ryan and Mike. And they kind of caught up with Neil and the father in the back after Neil killed that poor man just trying to get into his car. It's like, one thing about the following, on another side note, you're a victim even if you were just coming out your house for 5 minutes or something. That's the one thing that cracks me up about it. But to make a long story short, the father started freaking out when he saw that man's body, and that's when Neil had to take off. And I always laugh with Ryan Hardy because it's always like he has to always shoot and shoot and shoot, but he could never hit those tires. Never hit the back tires. I'm like, hit the back tires. He always gets the back window every time the person keeps. But I knew in the end that once they caught up with Neil, there was no way he was going to allow himself to get caught. And it wasn't so much because of Mark. It was for whoever it is that he is chain linked to. Which brings me back to my second review when I said that I want to know where they find these people that are ready and willing to give up their lives for this cause, whatever it is, because we've never really gotten or received a straight answer on exactly what it is they are fighting for as of yet. In fact, in most seasons, we get bits and pieces, but we still really don't 100% know what they're fighting for. So in the end, when Max Hardy comes home, And she's about to unlock her door, and Tom appears, suspect as all hell, or suspiciously. He appears and is about to take her to dinner. Meanwhile, inside of her apartment is Daisy and Kyle. Kyle, who is like foaming at the mouth to get his hands on Max, which is going to be his downfall as far as I'm concerned as well, on top of pissing off Mark because he's so eager to, you know, hurt people and do all this stuff. He's very impulsive. And then they end up, Daisy and Kyle, setting up these cameras all over Max's apartment, which first I'm just like, how in the hell did they get in that apartment without anybody seeing them? I swear the following. But it's going to be a mess next week. That double episode is going to be something else, and I truly believe that that new bad guy is coming, and he is going to throw us for a straight loop, and his entrance is going to be something else, and I do think that Joe Carroll is coming very, very soon. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this review. I'm Sage Valentine. Check out my channel and my other videos and my brand of crazy, and don't forget to subscribe, and rate this video, leave your comments, let me know what you think of this season so far, and what you predict is going to happen in the next 2 episodes. And check me out on Twitter and Google+, Sage Valentine, because I'm always tweeting up a storm about something involving a television show or something I heard. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. I love you all. Bye, guys. Bye.